the struggle. Long time had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Hood baby from the struggle. Long time had a hustle. I'm glad we made it through.
All right. Hey, Cleveland. It's your girl, Laura Cowan, and I'm back. I'm back with another Tea Time with Laura. And on this show, we get the tea, what's going on out there in the community. We have a great guest tonight, and we're going to talk about Black love. But first, I always tell you guys, please share, like, and subscribe to this page. And also know that Tea Time airs every Friday at 7 p.m. So tune in, share, and talk about it. And let's discuss today relationships. Our guest today is Miss Stephaine Kennedy, shall I say? She's from Cleveland State University. She's going to talk to you guys, tell everybody about her, a little introduction, and we're going to take it away. So what's going on, Steph?
Oh, a little bit of nothing and a lot of everything. I work here at Cleveland State University, and on Valentine's Day, we had a great panel discussion on Black love. We had a very diverse group of panelists. Some that have been in the music business, others that are life coaches, and others that are artists. So yes, it was very enjoyable and informative.
So when you say Black love, what in details are we talking about with Black love?
Good question. So when you say Black love, we're talking about what does it mean to you, as far as family, as far as spouses, as far as how media representation portrays Black love, and as far as how it affects you in your personal life, along with your business life and the success you have, depending on the lack or the growth or development of the love within your family growing up.
Black love, huh? Is this the first time you've had this event at Cleveland State?
Not our first Black History event, but our first event where our main focus was on Black love. Yes.
You talked about Black love, your event you had, and it sounded like it was awesome.
Yes.
And a large turnout at CSU. So tell me a little bit about the panelists and even how did it all come about in the first place?
Yes. So our work study students here in our center, they're actually called our navigators. They came up with the idea for Black History Month to showcase a few, I guess, different areas they wanted to talk about. One of them was Black love. Another one was diaspora cuisine. And then the last one was American hip hop versus international hip hop. And so at that moment, I'm like, I don't know, where do we get all these panelists from? Great ideas, but where can we get all of this knowledge? And then I remembered, my Uncle Chris Kennedy, he actually does different documentaries in and around Ohio. And so I reached out to him, and then he reached out to his boss, Jody Eric Matthews. And we had a meeting, and they're like, you know what, we do have a few people for you. And so for the diaspora cuisine, they were like, maybe we can use Sam Gaston. And so Sam Gaston is a awesome chef here in Cleveland, and he is actually opening up his new restaurant soon. And he was our only panelist that talked about diaspora cuisine. So we really do appreciate his attendance. So we also had, for Black love, we had Haya Tankara, and she basically has going on right now something called the Hit Factory over near Lashmere. And so happy balance, working out, yoga, Pilates, and those things of that sort. So she was an awesome panelist when talking about Black love. Loving yourself is the start.
There you go.
So the other panelist for our Black love was Maurice Martin. Maurice Martin is actually a life coach, and he has a book out now called Your Butt is Too Big. And so butt is B-U-T, not B-U-T-T, but B-U-T. And so definitely look it up, Google it. He is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to love and life coach, in a life coach. The other panelist that we had is Jay Cool. And now Jay Cool, he was on our panel to talk about American hip hop versus international hip hop. And he himself has a documentary coming out. And the first episode will be aired at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on September 22nd. So if you have an opportunity, go ahead out there and take a look at it. It's called 216, The Legends of the Land. So definitely look it up, go out there and see all about it. And so lastly is Jody Eric Matthews, the one who helped put it together with Chris Kennedy. And he was on our panel to talk about American hip hop. And so, as you know, as we see your background, he also has a documentary coming out called B, Mixtape Volume 1. And believe it or not, he also, as you know, had a documentary previous that they filmed in Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken, called King of the Block. And it will actually be aired and screened at the end of this month. So please look up B and see how you can be a part of it and see the viewing.
Oh, King of the Block and Valley Sports. I can't wait. I want to go see that one, but I definitely want to go see B.
Oh, yeah.
Shameless plug. That's awesome. You had a great panelist there. That's amazing. A little diversity of backgrounds and what they do, but they brought it all together and pulled it off well. And that's what you need.
Absolutely. And like we just talked about, from social media to hip hop to diaspora food, the food, all of it all ties together as a part of Black love.
Awesome. And there it is. Got the tea.
And there is one person I left out.
Yeah, who's that?
Our host, Julian Wilson. He does a phenomenal job. He is one of our navigators here at CSU. So basically his ultimate job is to help the students out in our center here at the Pratt Center. And when he was on that panel, he showed out. Though he's young, he's old in age mentally. He's just phenomenal all around, very wise for his age.
Yeah, far few in between. You get them like that. But that's
Absolutely.
Good. The upbringing of the parents, indeed, has to be.
Absolutely. I think he's going on to go to law school. I think he's trying to decide whether he's going to do University of Maryland. He just came back from DC. So,
wow.
Or go to Atlanta. He's trying to decide.
Yes. We're going to hear some great things about him. Remember his name, people. What's his name again?
Julian Wilson. Oh, yeah.
He could be the next Tyler Perry. You never know.
Seriously.
So how was the crowd? Was it receptive? Did they get into it? Did they ask questions?
I think that, well, you know, it was in our student center. And so that's like the main hub for Cleveland State University. And so it was around lunchtime. So you had a lot of foot traffic. So many people came and stopped by to listen. I think a lot of the students were very intrigued on how when you're growing up, how it truly affects your outcome at the end, unless you go get therapy or even know right from wrong, or what is it to love? How is it to love? So they definitely decided to stop. So you had an option whether to stop or keep walking, go on with your business, go to lunch. And so we did have a large amount of students come and sit down and listen. At the end, they did come up to the panelists and ask a lot of questions, just to get more information, because they only see it one-sided growing up. And so I don't know if you've been on the campus, but we have a very diverse group of students, not just here from America, but also we have a lot of international students. And so their definition is a little different than ours. So it was very informative to those students that stopped by to kind of understand who we are as a people and how we move and why we move the way we do.
That's interesting too, because the topic is on Black love. You do have a lot of diversity, because I know you have students who Caucasian, Indian, Asian, so when they hear the term Black love,
and even our students from Africa. Yeah, and even our students from Africa, it's a little different. It's still a little different from African Americans here in the U.S. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering how receptive they were to it. The topic itself, it wasn't like a love topic or just relationship topic, Black love. So, are they curious to find out more about Black love, or is just love, period?
They were curious to find out about Black love. And in all honesty, the panel also discussed food, diaspora food, and how that's one way to show your love in our community. If you cook for them, it's like showing your a sign of affection and love for that person. Yes. So that came up, and they do remember how, it's important for our families to eat together, for holidays, what we eat, what we choose to eat. And it's definitely something that I guess a lot of our African-American families that were there, they didn't really think about it. Like, oh, this is a form of love. Cooking is a form of love. And that's important in our culture.
It's very important, because food, period, brings everybody together. Family, strangers, neighbors.
Yes.
So something about food and love. And that old saying too, when you're cooking, you got to cook with love, or it just won't taste right, So
exactly.
I can see it blending into it.
And for some families, that's the only time they get to see each other together in one room. Whether it's from, and they also brought whether it's from a death in the family, and they come together and they're eating. Like, the main thing is the repast and actually sitting down and eating with your family members. Or if you don't get to see them at all, you're going to see them on Christmas and Thanksgiving. And we're going to cook together. We're going to join together, whether it's the young ones or the older ones. We're all going to be in the kitchen doing our part, in mixing the pot full of love. So
that's true too. But I can't say Black love is unique in its own way. Now, if you could create a definition of Black love, right, based off your own love, what would it be?
Trials that make us grow stronger.
Yes, absolutely. And I agree with you too. A lot of these young kids today, they see love based on the family, what their mom or their dad gone through, because they don't know anything.
No, they don't.
They're too young, haven't experienced any of that good stuff. Even if you talk about therapy or anything else, they haven't been involved in that at all. So sometimes you wonder about relationships when it first starts, when you're young, you're in your 20s, you're going to school, and how does that fit in too with work, part-time work, school? Heaven forbid if you got any kid involved or not.
And I
Wow.
do believe there's so many seasons with love. Um,
Mm, okay.
especially with Black love. There's so many seasons, whether it's the trials of going to work and not
Mhm.
feeling accepted, and you're coming home and
Mhm.
you're wanting that piece that might have been taken from you at work,
Right.
because of your race or because of your gender, being a woman, and then coming home and getting that cup filled back up, of
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
broken down in the workplace.
Right.
Um, and aside from all the a lot of the health issues we've had recently, um and having to come home and just filling that cup back up. So I think a lot of times, with us as African Americans, going out, whether it's going to a grocery store and feeling
Mhm.
disrespected, or
Mhm.
whether it's going to the workplace and just not feeling accepted, coming home to your spouse, that truly understands, because we're the same color, that truly understands what you went through, is big.
That is big too. And you're right. Filling that cup. I believe that is so true. Um, mm, my experience with Black love is pretty much from the very beginning. It's just watching your parents, you know, and how they treated each other. And then sometimes in a lot of households, you get dysfunctional households. So you look at that love too, and you go, "Oh, is that love?" Because mom got hit, or somebody got slapped, or and then you associate it with being the right way, and it's not the right way. And so a lot of times that love could go south. We talk about that. It's a honeymoon period in the beginning, and everything's wonderful, and roses and flowers and spring in the air.
And for us as Blacks, I think the portion where, it gets frustrating with us is that we were actually taught not to talk about that part of love when it's torn up in the household, because you're not supposed to tell your business. And so that's where the lack of therapy comes in, because you're trying to fix it yourselves, which ends up breaking our families apart. Um,
Mm, mm.
and then sometimes back together because they see, wow, it's bad out there. It's not what I expected when I went out there. So we're gonna come on back. So though they may have gotten a divorce, now we're back together, but we're just gonna cohabitate because we saw how bad it was out there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, and just even in our families, um, which I think it dates back to even slavery, like how we respond to love. Like, so if I'm growing up and it's abuse in the household,
Hmm.
um, now we think it's okay. This is okay. It's okay to beat your kids, and then you grow up and you repeat the cycle.
Yes.
Um, and so you're not knowing what the true definition of love is.
Hmm. The true definition of love. That is so true. I believe, I know they don't have a curriculum in school, especially high school. It needs to be some type of relationship curriculum. They can
Yes.
call it whatever they like to call it, but to prepare them so when they leave and they go out into that world, they kind of know what to look for, what not to look for, red flags, everything else. But I believe a lot of our kids, they learn from each other in the
Yes,
streets,
they do.
and
And
that's kind
me
of
and
bad.
social media. And
And
social
so,
media.
mm,
And that was another topic that we talked about on the 14th.
okay,
Social media, definitely portrays one thing, and even in the music industry, depending on the songs, they're trying to explain what love is, and you're like, wait, what? The beat is great, but then when you listen to the words, you're like, wait a minute, no, we don't want to do that. So they're trying to understand by looking at social media sometimes, and it'll show something different than what it should be.
it's been in the news a lot with relationships and things like that. I think the biggest thing now is going on is the Murdoch trial. But I was asking a question prior. So does Cleveland State have anything there, a program or anything that students can go to, or unwind, or you know maybe even discuss relationships?
I do know that um, we do have a team here called the care team. And
Mm,
so not
the
so
care
much
team.
for relationships, but so
Okay.
more or less for emotional support. So if there are any issues that a student may have and they're just having a tough time, whether it's uh, mentally, not really having it together and they just kind of release and need a little
Hmm.
bit of help. Especially being away
Hmm.
from their family. A lot of times the grades don't look like they're up to par.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not the schoolwork, it's more the mental part. And
Hmm.
being in tune and making sure you're okay. So we do have a great team here called the care team, and they're here to kind of assist the students when they're going through struggles or things of that nature. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what we have in place here.
Oh, I like that though. That's very important. Um, Guys, to our audience, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Share this out because it's very important. You hit something right on the nail there. The care team. I like that too, because it's just not dealing with just love, it's dealing with the whole person. And because school
Yes.
can be so stressful. It really
Yes.
is. So like you say, you got social media in one corner, you got their grades and work, schoolwork in another corner, finances. Some of them might have to try to pick up a little part-time job or work steady in another corner. It's so many things tugging and pulling. Heaven forbid if somebody's trying to go and pledge, AKA or Alpha Phi Alpha or whatever. So now you got that going on. You're away
Yes.
from home, you're away from home and your family support. So it's a lot. That's a lot.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stress and a lot of triggers. So, I'm just glad I don't have to do that all over again. That's all
Me
I can
too.
say. So school was
Me
enough as it
too.
is. And you got
Yes.
life behind it. That's just too much to handle. So, um, I was looking at the news, and it's been on the news all week, the Murdoch trial. And
Yeah.
I think it's one big one. It's just like OJ trial and all the rest of the trials out there. When love turns a different direction and goes south. And unfortunately, that really went to the extreme, I could say,
Yes.
because here you got now a mother and a son deceased behind, who knows, they say, the hands of the husband. So that's still in the works. I know they're still trying to go through the last minute of deliberations on it. I'm trying to see how it came out. I want to tune into it, and then in a way, I don't want to tune into it, but you have to,
And I
just to
will
be
say a lot of times, I think with different situations like that, if somebody would have just caught it
yeah,
beforehand, caught the mental
yeah,
breakdown or the mental illness, um, before if if or before it happened,
yeah,
it might have
yeah.
saved a life.
It might have saved a life. I believe that because there's warning signs all the time in every
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
So there's warning signs, and I'm quite sure a family member, a neighbor, somebody picked up on it, but chose to ignore it. Probably. I remember with the OJ trial, the family member of Nicole was saying it was all kind of red flags, of course, and but she finally was strong enough to break free and say enough's enough and leave. But
Yes.
everyone, that's the most dangerous time is when a woman leaves that relationship. And
Yes.
sure enough, it didn't happen right away, but she
Hmm.
got a lot of stalking behind it. And he would
The
just appear and show out of nowhere, and just
mhm.
always come to the house and stalk her. So,
The key
yeah,
word
love
you
is
said is strong, strong enough. I think a lot
strong
of
enough.
times we're blinded. I think a lot of
Mm,
times we're blinded by love and you
yeah,
don't see the signs in front of you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it takes that strength in that man or
Mm,
woman to get up and
and walk away.
and
Yeah,
walk away.
indeed. Yeah, you're right
Mhm.
about that. Especially you got children involved, so and that's hard. But eventually, a little light bulb does come on. Because I'm a survivor too of domestic violence.
Mm,
I know you try to stick it out, you try to hope for the best, you
yes,
try to see if the person's going to change.
yes.
You try to stay there for the kids, blah blah blah. And
Hmm.
when you just think it's just not working, then it's not working. It's just
Right.
time to go. And a lot of people ask, why do women stay? If it's so bad, they always ask that question, huh? Why do women stay? And people don't realize there's a multiple of facets of things. It's not just really
Yes.
one thing, you know, fear could be the
Right.
children,
Right.
economic reasons, she ain't got enough cash. He's been the breadwinner. So what's she gonna do now? She got to look at all of that. So
And at the
it's a
end of the
lot.
day, and at the end of the day, that's not how it started. It started
Right.
with love.
It's
And we're
love.
always taught love is not just an emotion, it's in love definition is love in spite of. And so
Right.
you try to play that whole love in spite of everything else going on. And so
Mhm.
when rubber meets the road, it's like there's so many parts, like you just said,
Yeah.
to why you can't get up and move right away.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell yeah, boy, I tell you, sometimes when you talk, you get flashbacks.
Mm.
I really do. A lot of times, I get flashbacks, and a lot of things I think I would have, should have, could have. But it is what it is. I'm still here, so it must have
That's
worked
right.
out because a lot of
Um,
women aren't here to talk about it.
I will
Mm-mm.
say, if all of us women or men that are in that
Mhm.
position, the late
Mhm.
Dr. Pratt, her main quote was, "I see greatness
Mhm.
in you." And so,
Yeah.
if we could just
Yeah.
remember the greatness we have in ourselves, it'll allow us to get up and physically move, mentally move. Um, just knowing that there's greatness in you.
Yeah. Absolutely. She was strong on that one. Let's give some kudos to the late Dr. Pratt. Miss her dearly. She was a strong woman, and indeed, she's helped so many students. My gosh, it's just amazing. We lost a big warrior right there, but she had a big heart, and she
Yes,
saw
she did.
good in everybody. And there is
Yes.
good in everybody. It really is. It's how you got to channel it. That's the thing.
Yes.
And
And
she
like you
saw
said
it.
the other day, you said there are some people for a season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not meant to be in your life forever. Yeah. Some are and some are not. You're right about that. And boy, do you see yourself now doing another maybe Black love or relationship type of program or event?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is actually the second podcast for Black for love in general. So
Okay.
we are thinking of bringing in life coaches and having more of
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
discussion where we can have a lot of dialogue back and forth with the students and them learning a little bit more about healthy love, healthy
Mm-hmm.
relationships,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's family, whether it's spouse, um,
Mm-hmm.
um, just all encompassing, whether it's just kids. Do you know how to love your kids properly?
Right. Right.
So
Oh,
we are
that's a
definitely thinking
whole
about
new
having
different. Ooh, girl,
another
gosh, that's a show
one.
by itself right there. When you're dealing with the
Oh
kids,
yes. Oh
because
yes.
here it is once again. Having them, it was like there's no manual.
No, it's not.
You can't look through the book. Page three
No, it's not.
says, you know, there it is. You got them,
And
and a
we are
lot of
all
them based
we are all uniquely designed.
design.
So
Okay.
each child is different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no manual. Like I said, there's no manual. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-mm. So ever. That is, and then once again, you go into that. How do you raise them? It's off of how you were raised.
yes,
It's just like relationships. So you see how mom and dad raised you, and then you turn around and do the same for yours. whether it be
Yes.
bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. This is how you were taught.
In
And
that
you're right,
sense, where their love starts, they're
that's where
learning
it
how to
starts.
love by their parents.
Yes. And if you have any type of dysfunctional things there, then it's
Mhm.
just going to spill over to the next generation. And
Yes,
that's unfortunate. So I do believe they should put things in place, maybe beyond high school, even, because
I do too.
start when you're young and get them ready and prepared. It doesn't have to be something so drastic, but just
Right.
a little something to open that door, and get those juices flowing, and kids can understand the right way to treat each other. Even little kids on the
True.
playground when they're playing with each other,
That's
that's a
true.
form of love or hate.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I think CSU would be great. It would be great to have another segment. You got April coming up. That's Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Mhm.
Uh, May, whatever would be like Mother's Day type of thing. So I don't know. Whenever you guys can get another one going, let me know, because I sure would like to come.
Absolutely will.
Yeah, definitely like to
Tomorrow
do
we
that.
have Women Awareness Month. So Women's Month is
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's
So
right. That's right. Kudos to the great women out there. That's right.
yes.
Right. Women's History Month. This is it right here. And we have some trailblazers from the past, that we can recognize our ancestors, and we still
Absolutely.
stand on their shoulders right now.
That's
And
right.
we are where we are today because of them. So
Absolutely.
this has been great. Please let me know you have your next program or event.
We will. We will. Thank you for
I like to,
having me on the show.
oh, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. And guys, I hope you share, like, and subscribe to this channel of Tea Time with Laura. Our guest was Stephaine Kennedy from CSU. And we will keep you posted if she does have another program going on, an event. We'll get the information and share it on Tea Time so you can come and attend. So as we end our segment tonight, you don't have a teacup, do you? I didn't tell you to get a teacup. You should have
Oh,
got a
I
cup.
have
You
I
got
have
a
a
little.
cup, but it's not a teacup.
Hey, that's okay. As long as it's a cup, kudos to you, my sister. There
Yes.
you go. Tea time. Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you so much. So
Thank you.
much.
We appreciate you
And
as
yeah,
well.
and when you do have that next program, please come back on so we can share information out to everybody and let them know to attend.
Absolutely. Thank you
All
again.
right. All
All right.
right. Okay, guys, wrapping it up. See you next Friday at 7 p.m. for Tea Time with Laura. And also tune in and share life with this page, but tune in to Be, the documentary, Be a Raised Fist mixtape, coming to a theater to you soon. And also, please go to our website. It's down in the description and below. You see the website for B that tell you all about it, and also the merchandise. You can buy some t-shirts, you can buy a B hat, whatever you can to help donate to this project. We would appreciate it. So again, thank you, Steph, and we will talk to you soon.